Angry guy here, and women are stealing from men. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't. Like the video and turn on notifications to never miss another video again. Now let's begin. So women are stealing from men. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Why is it okay for women to feel entitled to being protected and provided for, but it is wrong for men to feel entitled to sex and intimacy?
Why is it okay for a woman to feel entitled to be protected and provided for, but it's wrong for a man to feel entitled to sex and intimacy?
Why are there some women who shame men for being horny when testosterone is a male hormone?
Why must men put up with female hormones being emotional and crazy, but women can't put up with male hormones being horny?
When someone commits a crime, do you blame the criminal or do you blame society?
When somebody commits a crime, do we blame the criminal or do we blame society?
Well, if a woman is attacked in public and a man is attacked in public, who do you think is more likely to be rescued?
If a woman and a man are attacked in public, who is more likely to be rescued?
When was the last time you apologized?
What was the last thing that you apologized for?
Do women have a right to be afraid of men when 80% of all violent crime is done by men?
Do women have a right to be afraid of men when 80% of violent crime is done by men?
How is that different than fearing certain races based on statistical data?
How is that different than fearing certain races because of statistical data?
Why is it okay for women to be sexist but not racist?
Why do you think it's okay for women to be sexist but not racist?
Why is it when a man cheats, he's a cheater, but when a woman cheats, it's because she's not satisfied?
Why is it that when a man cheats, he's a cheater, but when a woman cheats, she's not satisfied in the relationship?
Who takes more accountability, men or women, and why?
Women.
Who takes more accountability, men or women?
Men.
Why is
You know, guys, it's so intriguing. So shout out to the It's Complicated channel. You know, I saw this on their channel and I was like, what the heck am I looking at? So Just Pearly Things, she's a large YouTube content creator. She became very popular. Her channel blew up during the events of 2020. People were inside. They saw her channel. She's actually been deemed the female Mr. Tate. By the way, guys, I hope you're enjoying the Genshin Impact background footage. This was requested. I hope you like that. So it's intriguing because women are mimickers. They know how to mimic men. They know how to copy men. Their goal in life, their purpose is to actually be helpers of men. So they're good at mimicking. And this is something that the Migglypuffs used to talk about. I find it intriguing how we, as men, we have to be very, very careful who we give our time to and who we give our energy to. While I show a lot of videos by women on the channel, there are some decent women out there, women like Soraya. You know, I show comments by Mayumi. I think she's hilarious. At the same time, we have to be very conscious that all women are women. They all share the same characteristics, and they're all looking out for their own best self-interest, which is what most people are doing to begin with. But you have to understand that there's no such thing as these virtuous women. And I'm pointing this out not to in any way pick at Just Pearly Things or, you know, look for any issues with her whatsoever. I'm just making this example. I wanted you guys to see this because, you know, this is someone that was invited, allowed to enter into the manosphere. She has a large following. And honestly, I'm not trying to stop her. I say, God bless her. Let her do her work because she's basically spreading the red pills left and right. And that's perfectly fine by me. She's already made her bed. There's really no going back. The problem I see is that there's some guys, a lot of guys, who are like, oh, you're so perfect. You're so wonderful. You're all of these things. You know what's interesting? Just Pearly Things has this huge fan base of men, massive fan base of men. And from what we know, she's probably still single, or she, you know, because, you know, she alluded to that quite some time ago. And it's interesting because she wants a guy that's at least 6 feet tall and, you know, she's a millionaire. So obviously he's going to have to be up there in terms of wealth. And it's crazy because she talks about guys and she talks about women and all the demands of women, the expectations of women, but she's no different in her own expectations. She's looking for a guy who is at least 6 feet tall. She's a tall girl. She's not, I don't believe she's 6 feet, but she's like maybe 5'10", 5'11". She's a tall girl. She has to be with a guy who is at least 6 feet tall or taller. And I understand wanting a guy to be your own height or a little bit taller than you, but is that completely realistic? When she talks about how women treat men in society and how women view men in society, and then goes and kind of does the exact same thing, and looking at men who basically they may not make as much money as her, but they still make a lot of money, respectively, and those guys are still not good enough. Like, for example, she's making like $1 million a year. So you're telling me that a guy making $500,000 a year that's 5'10" is not good enough for you? It's just kind of like that. It kind of wakes you up and makes you realize that no matter what a woman says, you have to kind of look at what they do and how they behave. Because at the end of the day, most women are just out here trying to get their bag. They don't really care about you. They don't care about you at all. They just want what you have. I remember like seeing this thing that some children wrote once, and it was something along the lines of girls will only give you cooties and they just want to take your toys from you. And it was something like that was actually written by like children, a child in like elementary school. And it's amazing that they had this concept down. Like, do you remember when we were growing up and boys used to say, "Oh my goodness, don't let him kiss you because you'll get cooties and then you're gonna need a cootie shot." And it's amazing because where did that come from? Where did the whole concept of cooties come from? I'm pretty sure that was a Gen X thing. I'm one of the Zennials, and my in my generation we would go around call each other derogatory terms, and those are really just terms of endearment. But the cooties thing, you have to realize that it probably came from Gen X. It came out of Gen X, so it doesn't seem like a boomer thing. And Gen X, what they were doing is they were really warning the younger generation. Like they were warning their little brothers, and they were saying, "Listen, little bro, if you mess around, you're gonna find out. If you f around, you're gonna find out. If you let these girls, they didn't little kids, they didn't really understand the concept of physical intimacy yet. So they said kissing, right? And they said, if you kiss, and when kids get older, they understand there's more than just kissing, but they called it a kiss. And you can basically get an illness from the person that you're physically intimate with, and you're going to end up having to get a shot as a result. That shot was likely referring to penicillin, because when you catch a condition, an illness from, having physical intimacy, one of the things that you'll end up having to get is a shot of penicillin to clear it up. That's your cootie shot right there. And it's amazing how Gen X was warning future generations before we even knew it, that, hey kids, you got to be careful out there. Be careful in the streets, because these streets are dangerous. You don't want to be out here in the streets with these chicks, because even back then they were letting young men know it's dangerous out there. Be careful out there, because you will get rocked out there. And it's the reality that we now live in as all men. It's something that we have to wake up and realize that at the end of the day, women see what we have and they want what we have, and they'll do whatever they can to take it. They'll come after it, and they'll do whatever they can to take it. And I kind of look at what Just Pearly Things is doing here, and it makes you really think about it now that so much of her content, so much of her style, so much of what she's built has just been modeled off what others have created. Even that whole podcast format of interviewing different people, I commend her. She works hard. She puts in a lot of hard work in building things and building her setup, and I find it very interesting. But it's just like frightening to see that she's been copying and stealing questions from other people. She goes to someone's videos like it's complicated, and basically takes their content like that. I'll tell you something interesting. So they seem like lovely guys. I used a video many months ago that was not from their channel, but it was another content creator who used one of their videos and did like a review on that, and I did a review on their video. And they actually just hit me up and they're like, "Hey, that's not the link to the original video. The link to the original video is our channel. Could we get a link back? And I'm like, yeah, hey, sure. And they were like, oh, thanks, man. And I was like, because there's so many people that are just really nasty, or they'll try to take down your video. And they were just really cool about it. Like, hey, could you guys give us a link for that? And it's intriguing that like Just Pearly Things would just come in, and she would and literally deliberately steal their words, like literally steal their questions. It's like, bro, you can't come up with your own you can't come up with your own words. Like, you're literally stealing the words, the questions from others. And again, like I said, I respect what she's doing. I don't have any direct gripes with her, because I think that she's made her bed. She's made her bed at this point, and she settled into it. So that's pretty much it. But and again, she's giving out red pills, so that's all that really matters, regardless of whether or not she's sincere or not. I don't really care about that. But you guys have to be mindful and aware that women are stealing from men. They are stealing from men. They will come in and they will take whatever we have if we are not very careful about it. And that's one of the reasons why men will create new spaces as women invade, old ones or pre-existing ones. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying my content, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't. Like the video and turn on notifications to never miss another video ever again. What do you think regarding everything we discussed here today, guys? I want to know your thoughts in the comments. And let me know if you like this video footage. I think it was pretty good video footage of Genshin Impact. And if you want to see more footage like this, or you want to see more nature footage, or you want to see different video game footage from another different game. Some people said like GTA 5. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.